Substitution. They've made all of their substitutions. If Liverich cannot make a go of it here, they'll be 2 men short. Well, Liverich is up now. He was tripped savagely last year in a game when he was with San Jose in a brutal play, and he required surgery in the offseason. He's back 100%, but Liverich right now, every time something like that happens, he starts thinking about it. So Mark is back up again. We'll have a drop ball to start play at midfield like a face-off in hockey. Tony Mackin and Tibor Molnar. Ball is dropped between them, and they say Molnar fouled Mackin. So a free kick for Washington. Liverich is back. Well, Mackin's limping. Miro Pavlovich of San Jose is limping. All right, here comes Washington. Left wing side, 35-yard line is Lester. Lateral pass into the middle to Soaks. Give and go. Back to Lester in the left wing corner, and he's knocked down by Jeff Davis. Well, he had beaten Davis by 3 yards, so Davis came back in and knocked him over. A minute 30 left in the ball game. If there's no goal scored in that last minute 30, we'll go into the shootout. Top of penalty box left, Tony Mackin. He looks for the opening now, looks for the shot. Feeds it back outside in the left corner. Stokes crossing ball in front for Green. Knocked down by Callaway. Comes to John Kerr, but he couldn't hold on to the ball. 16 yards from the goal. Cleared back to midfield. Headed all the way back into the penalty area. Going after the ball is Alan Green, but Pavlovich knocks it away. Here comes Ken Hill. He drives in. Callaway tries to clear, but Kenny Hill smothers it. Hill tries to cross it in front from the right wing corner, but Pavlovich is able to knock the ball away, and it goes out of bounds in the right wing corner. And now Kenny Hill looks to make sure all the parts are there. He got a 70-mile-an-hour kick right in the groin that time. Crossing ball in front. A shot on the net by Lester on a head ball. Goes wide left of the net, and it's over the end line. Green tried to save it in, couldn't do it, and a San Jose goal kick. Washington, after 104 minutes of play with just about their best offensive sequence in front of the net in this ball game. Lester made the head ball that time, but it spun off wide left of the goal, and they couldn't save it in. Ball out to midfield now, and Washington has it again into San Jose zone, but Callaway takes it away from Lester. Neither team wants to go into a shootout, but that's what we're going to do in 30 seconds unless there's a goal scored. We'll explain that when we get to it. I don't know how much we've explained tonight on radio. Just trying to figure it all out when you're here is tough enough. All right, at midfield with 15 seconds. Long pass into Washington's zone. Look out, here's Minnich, and a saving tackle by Steele from 18 yards. Long ball down, and if Minnich had gotten a second that time, he would have pumped one toward the net. Washington is going to go into a shootout with San Jose. Time has run out on the scoreboard clock, and we're going to go shootout. The first time in Washington Diplomat history we go shootout. And I'll tell you one thing, the San Jose Earthquakes are probably about the worst team to have to go into a shootout with in the league. All right, sit back now. You can get off the edge of your seat. Sit back, take a deep breath. It's only a game. You can come out and see it all for yourself at RFK Stadium. It's much more exciting in person. Saturday night, June the 4th, the Fort Lauderdale Strikers in town. Right now, if Washington can win in this shootout, they'll tie Fort Lauderdale for 3rd place. And they'll still be even in the loss column with Tampa, the team which leads the league, because they'll have a game in hand over Tampa. And they'll have a game in hand over New York, and they're ahead of them in the loss column. So that's a big one. Tickets available at Ticketron, Soccer World, Soccer Explosion, the Pentagon Ticket Agency. If you'd like to inquire about special ticket plans or about the family ticket, Best Buy and Sports, call 544-KICK, 544-KICK. All right. What is a shootout? Well, you see on your television screen the lines on either side of your screen there. Those are the 35-yard lines. The goalie will set himself in goal. A shooter designated by the team will set himself at the 35-yard line. The referee will drop his hand. The shooter will start moving in one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he'll have to get a shot off within 5 seconds. If he does get a shot off within 5 seconds and it goes in the net, he'll get a goal. Each team will designate 5 players to shoot, and whoever scores the most goals after 5 men have shot will win the game. Personally, sort of a silly way to end a game. Something like having a one-on-one contest in a basketball game to decide a ball game. The players, if Washington loses this ball game, of course, they'll be very upset. You play 105 minutes on the road, 3,000 miles from home, and you get a tie after all that time, and then you could lose on something that really has little to do with the game. On the other hand, it's a very exciting thing to watch, as if we haven't had enough excitement tonight. Mike Hewitt will set himself up in the nets first. And Bobby Stokes is going to come out and shoot. And the fans give Hewitt a big round of applause. They're all here in San Jose. Bobby Stokes is going to be the first shooter for Washington. Tell you, San Jose's tough on these with Child, Midic, De Leon, all great offensive players. Stokes is not bad himself. Remember now, he's got 5 seconds, and Hewitt is on the goal line. Hewitt can come out. He's got to try to block the angle and perhaps even smother the ball. All right, start your watches. Stokes looks at the referee. He's going to start it in. All right, both men poised. Here goes Stokes. He goes straight down the middle now, pushes to the right side. He shoots over Hewitt. He scores! Bobby Stokes has scored for Washington. Well, I knew if we went long enough tonight, we'd have a goal. Stokes just pushed the ball to the right side and then shoved it right around Hewitt. And now if Eric Martin can stop this shot, they'll be on their way. Leroy De Leon, the former Diplomat, will set the ball up 35 yards. De Leon, he'd love to do it against his former teammates. Eric Martin, it's a wonder Eric is even standing at this point. All right, here he goes. De Leon straight down the middle. Martin comes out, a drive. He stops the ball. Time has run out. Time has run out. He's been stopped. Eric Martin came out. He reached out and he smothered the ball. And De Leon eventually went around him and scored, but time had run out. And so Washington has a 1-0 lead after one round of the shootout. John Carberry comes over. John, who was one of the fathers of this rule, he ought to know, tells me the play is dead once the goalkeeper touches the ball. So time really had run out on him. Now here comes Mark Liverich. Liverich sets the ball up. He's got to score to keep the advantage. Former Earthquake gets around the booze. He's got to score to keep the advantage. Here he goes, straight down the middle. Hewitt comes out. Liverich drives. He shoots. He scores! Liverich took him to the left side, and he chipped the ball up over him as Hewitt dove down to try and smother it. And the Diplomats lead 2-0. And now Paul Child is going to shoot for the Earthquakes. The 5th leading scorer in the history of the league. He's got 4 goals this year. As Liverich and Stokes have both scored for Washington. Child has to score for the Earthquakes, or it's all but over for them. Child has to score. Eric Martin takes his time. Eric Martin goes back to the net, holds the net, stretches his back. He wants to make Child think about it. The pressure is on Child. All the pressure in the world on Child right now. Here he goes, straight down the middle. Martin comes out. He shoots. He scores! Well, Child took him on that time. No juking, no faking. He took him straight down the middle, and he shot the ball right under him. He shot it right under him. It's 2-1. We go to round 3 of 5. And this is John Kerr. John Kerr to shoot now. He's got to score for Washington to keep the advantage. He drives straight down the middle. Hewitt comes out. He's still going. A save! John Kerr went right down the middle, and Hewitt dove to his left, and he made the save. And now Laurie Calloway will shoot. Calloway shooting to tie here in the 3rd round. And again, Eric Martin slowly walks into the goal. He'll walk right through the goal line. He'll back up into the net. Now he sets himself. He's got to stop Calloway to keep the advantage. Laurie straight down the middle. He drives. He puts it over him. He misses the net. He missed the net wide left. Martin came out, and Calloway tried to chip it around him, and he missed the net wide left. So the Diplomats still have the advantage. Here's an isolation on Martin. He came straight out on him, and he stopped. He stopped at 9 yards. And Calloway, who was ready to make a move on him, all of a sudden had no move to make because Martin did not commit himself. Alan Green, 2 goals on Saturday. He'd like to get 1 right here. It's 2-1, the fourth round. They still need to score to keep the advantage. Alan Green in his second game, the first time he's ever seen a shootout. Here he goes. He drives. He fakes. He's around him. He shoots. He scores. Did he take too much time? No, he did not. He scores. The fans booing. They thought he took too much time. But Alan Green, with that tremendous speed of his, is already into the penalty area. He shot the ball to his left. He ran over after it and fired it into a wide open goal. So now Ilija Mitić, the all-time leading scorer in the league's history, has to score. If Mitić does not score, it's all over, and Washington has won it. This is it. Here goes Mitić, straight down the middle. Hewitt out. He stops. The shot. Wide left. Washington has won it. The Diplomats have won it in a shootout. It's all over. Eric Martin, in his first shootout, is congratulated by his tired teammates. Goldfinger has shown the magic touch, and the Washington Diplomats may have gotten the biggest victory in the history of the franchise in San Jose. In a shootout, and in a game in which they were totally outplayed from start to finish, they win it in a shootout, and the Washington Diplomats will certainly take it here. Eric Martin, the hero of the day. He came out 2 times on Callaway when he could have tied it. He stopped at 9 yards. Callaway had stopped to make his move. There was no move to make, so he shot it wide. Green scored, and Mitić having to score to keep it alive. Green went straight in, or correct that, Green did score, then Mitić had to score to keep it alive.
What's up there?
He moved straight in. Martin stopped at 11 yards that time, and Ilija Mitić missed the net. And that's the kind of a night it was for the San Jose Earthquakes. The final score, the Washington Diplomats with their 4th consecutive victory, their 2nd on the road, defeating San Jose in a shootout, 1-0. From San Jose, John Miller saying we'll be back in a moment on radio, and reminding you our next telecast on television will be, when is it going to be? Are we going to have more of these things? I don't think we can. Check your local listings for the next telecast of Washington Diplomats Soccer. This is Dip Soccer. Washington Diplomats Soccer has been brought to you by SK Meats. Try SK Frank's Luncheon Meats, Bacon, and Sausage. You'll find SK Taste makes the meal, so make the taste SK. By Irving Sports Shops and the Athletic Shoe Boxes, headquarters for Adidas Shoes. By the Washington Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Incorporated, bottlers of Coca-Cola, Sprite, Tab, and Fresca. By the Giant Food family, count on us for the finest in quality, value, and service when you shop at Giant, the quality food people. And by your Washington area Pontiac dealers. We've got a way with a price. Did anybody start a watch downstairs? I'm going to start talking on radio here real quick. That should be about 40 seconds. And so the Washington Diplomats with their 2nd